Mustard Knuckle.
Hello everybody, Mustard Knuckle back again, heading out in the Tanks-Lvtdgb M40. I'm shooting at this thing. No, you never know where these rounds are really gonna go. Alright, so you can see it's a truck with a gun. Interesting, well, a couple interesting things, which we'll talk about. We'll do the gameplay, history, tips. Probably not going to be many tips with this other than, like, don't get hit by airplanes. Machine guns, anything can kill you. Machine guns can kill you, airplanes can kill you, tanks can kill you, you know, cannons, whatever. This is an interesting vehicle in that there's essentially no history on this actual vehicle. I can't find it. Tons of history on the gun. I found a picture of this thing, which it's interesting. It's got those little rollers behind the front wheels and in front of them. I guess to keep it from getting high centered on the front end or on the frame underneath. There we go, let's see. Just keep shooting, that's the idea. There we go. Okay, he's not moving now. There we go, cool. So it's fun. It's kind of like Whirlwind kind of fun, except not quite as fun. Somewhere in between. Because with the Whirlwind, you can just open up on somebody and just lay into them. The big thing about this vehicle, the LGTVB, I don't know, LTVGB? I don't know. They call it something in the game. It's a bunch of letters. It's short for Lvtdrgb, I think. The best part about this vehicle is the gun. The history of this vehicle is in the gun. Just keep shooting. Here we go. We'll get him. Or somebody else will. Somebody will get him. Ah. Guy in the hill. So this 40mm cannon's got pretty good pen, 70-something millimeters, pretty good. Now the cool thing, you see how there's two sights on it, and there's a guy sitting behind him. So you got the one guy that aims it, another guy that aims it, and another guy that aims it. There's three guys that aim it. They all have different jobs. I can't remember what they're all called, but one guy aims it this way, that way, the other guy aims it like fine-tuning wise, and then another guy adjusts the sights based on what he's seeing. The British added a guy that his job was to use this little computer and it would calculate leads so they could use something other than just those sights. I'm making a plan, I'm trying to hide here. I don't know. So those sights, because shooting at airplanes with this thing was apparently almost impossible, which I've found to be the case. Oh, that guy flew right into those, so we're going to miss him, and he flew right into him. Didn't do anything really, but whatever. The shooting at planes with this in the game is, to me, it's almost impossible. I can't hit anything. Well, I mean, you can see I can't hardly hit anything with this either. There we go, finally. I'm not the best aimer in the world, and that gives me trouble with trying to aim something at an airplane, which was already hard to do. I guess it's the rate of fire. It's 2 rounds per second, so you'd think it was pretty good, but it doesn't quite work out that way. So the British added a guy back there to calculate leads. Well, the trouble with this is that the computer you used needed electricity. So where do you get the electricity, right? You get it from a battery. Well, the battery needs to be charged, or it needs a generator to charge it. And how do you run a generator in the field? You need gas. Well, enter another problem. So you would have this computer that needs a battery, which needs a generator. They never used it because keeping fuel for a little generator was not the priority. Especially because the gun would work without it. So that wasn't something they were too concerned about. It was kind of a nicety, something that was convenient when it was convenient, but when it wasn't convenient, they didn't mess with it. So anyway, here we go, back in an airplane. Okay. Oh, good, rockets. Essentially useless. I don't know. What do you guys think about the rockets? We've been using them for a long time. I'm still terrible. So I usually fire one to get like an idea where they're going, and then I fire the other ones, but usually by the time the first one hits, I'm so much closer that it's basically pointless. Like, I'll fire this one. Okay, watch where it goes. It went high, so I'm going to fire really low now. And that one looked like a direct hit, but I got nothing. Like, I mean, it looked like whatever. That's the thing. Let's see if I can do it down here. From the top. Yeah, well, and then when I don't aim, right through the trees. When I don't aim, then I hit them. So maybe I just shouldn't aim. I've also found it's easier when you're not zoomed in to see where they're going. That you can kind of see the trajectory a little bit better. So maybe that'll help. It seems to help when I remember to do it, but most of the time I don't remember. So anyway, so this cannon was being developed by the Bofors company, or Bofors or whatever, in Sweden. So they're building this cannon in the early 30s, and they kind of get to a stopping point with it, and I'm out of, I need to go get ammo. Jeez, I got airplane ammo, but I don't have anything to shoot tanks with. Doesn't carry a tremendous amount of ammo. So they were working on this thing, and they get to a point where they're kind of stuck because like the loading mechanism isn't shooting fast enough, so that, because I guess there's a piece that needed to move to allow the next round, but then it also needed to close. So they can make it strong, but then it's too heavy to fire fast. They can make it fire fast, but then it was too weak, it would break. So then they decided to try, I think, burning up shells, like zinc shells, so they'd burn up on the way out, so they'd kind of handle that themselves, but then they got zinc deposits on the barrel, so then that didn't work. So they needed somebody to help them with metallurgy, basically, and that's where Krupp came in. Krupp bought a third of the company. They knew all about metal. They built like the flak cannons, they built tanks, they built all this stuff for Germany. Now remember, this is still before the war, so they knew they had knowledge. So they bought a third of this. But they didn't tell anybody about the 40mm cannon they were working on with these guys. They kept that quiet conveniently, as if they knew something was going to happen in the late 30s. So they kept working on that. Then it's pretty wild. I might even have to do another thing on it. So the English started working on these. Then the Americans basically stole cannons from the English. Oh, I got my engine. I'll just go under here. So they stole, Americans kind of quietly borrowed some from the English and started building them illegally because they didn't have rights to build them. And then they got rights, and later on, then the Americans started building them. Built over 60,000 of these total. That's an okay game. I got 2 kills, 6 assists, 1 airplane, and a lot of reloading. But so the Americans started building them later through Chrysler. So Chrysler was building them. The Swedish, who originally built them, decided they didn't want them because they were building as a Navy item. They decided they needed something lighter for the Navy, so they went with a 25mm. I'm just going to scroll through this while we talk. 25mm for the Navy. Then they took the land-based version, which is the version that ended up on this, the M36 version. And there's more to it. Next time we get into something with the Bofors, we'll talk more about it. Hope you enjoyed the video. Good luck, have fun, see you in the next one.